This week's parsha is Parshas Toldos. May this Devar Torah be a schus for Yerushalmi, for Chaim Dov ben Mino Rachel, and for Avram Nechemia ben Braina B'sach Shar Chol Yisrael, and may it be a schus for Erez ben Hadas B'soch Shar Hashuyim. May Hashem bring Yeshuos to everyone Bekarov. In this week's parsha, we're introduced to Yaakov and Esav, and we have the story where Yaakov takes the brachos that would be going to Esav, and he takes them for himself. And the Torah tells us the brachas that Yitzchak gave Yaakov, thinking that he was Esav. And I want to focus on one particular line from the bracha. So we have a bracha that I think is relevant to today's times. So we have a bracha, we have the pasuk in Perek Chav Zayin, pasuk Chav Tes. The Torah says, Yavducha Amim, the peoples will serve you. V'shtachvu umim, and the regimes will bow before you. Have a gevir le'achecha, you'll be a lord to your brother. V'shtachvu chok b'nei imecha, and your mother's sons will bow down to you. Orecha orur, those who curse you, may they be cursed. U'varchecha baruch, those who bless you, may they be blessed. Interesting line. It's a similar line to what Hashem blesses Avraham Avinu in Parshas Lech Lecha. Mevarchecha baruch u'makalelcha, or that those who bless you will be blessed, and those who curse you will be cursed. And this is the bracha, one of the brachas that Yitzchak is giving to Yaakov Avinu. I saw an interesting Yerushalmi, which I want to share with you. The Yerushalmi is at the end of the 8th parak of Brachos, and Rabbi Shmuel says a very interesting thing. It says, Goy echad pagas Rabbi Shmuel. Goy bumped into Rabbi Shmuel. Uberacho, he gave him a bracha. So Amrle, his response was, Kvar miwascha amira. The words that apply to you have already been said in the Torah. Pagachrina, another guy bumps into him. The killer, he curses him. Amrle, Kvar miwascha amira. The words that apply to you have been said in the Torah. Amrlo Tamid, if his Tamidim turned to him and said, Rebbe, Kmad Amris Lahadein, if a guy gives you a bracha, a guy gives you a klala, and then you respond to them the same way? Amrlon King Kosov. Orecha Ora, Mavarchecha Baruch. That's what it says in the Torah. Those who curse you will be cursed. Those who bless you will be blessed. Bit of a challenging Gemara, right? I mean, if a guy, don't we care about what people think? If a guy blesses us, we shouldn't have a karas atov, we shouldn't have gratitude. If people are good to us in this country, shouldn't we have a karas atov? And by the same token, people who try to kill us and try to abuse us, we shouldn't be fighting back and looking at them in a different way. You know, what we see on campuses right now, and we see from people in the UN, shouldn't bother us. What's Rabbi Shmuel trying to say? It says in the Torah. What do I need to treat them differently? I think the pshat in the Gemara is that Rabbi Shmuel is trying to make a point that at the end of the day, what matters most is what we feel more than what the Goyim feel. I mean, we're in a world today where things are going on, and there's a lot of dynamics happening. There were things happening in Corona, and there are things happening today. And at the end of the day, our Svarim tell us that the messages in this world are meant as wake-up calls for us. They're supposed to bring us to tshuva and bring us to try to come closer to Hashem. It's not about waking up the Goyim, it's about waking up us. And so I think there's this idea that, we go and we do ishtadlus and we try to appeal to the government and we do different things, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think on campus in this sense. What really matters is, what do we think? What are we changing? Are we growing? Are we doing tshuva? I think that's the message Rabbi Shmuel is trying to convey, is it's not about what they think, it's about what we think. And we have to come with that perspective, and at the end of the day, Hashem says what will be. Those who bless us will be blessed. Those who curse us will be cursed. We have to march with our own strength. We have to come and try to transform ourselves, and that has to be our main focus. That was one idea I wanted to share with you. Share with you another idea. Rashi brings from the Medrash on this pasuk. He says, contrast it to Bilam. By Bilam says, those who bless you will be blessed. Those who curse you will be cursed. So how come Bilam starts with the brachas and Yitzchak started with the klalas? So the Medrash explains, Rashi brings, Tzadikim tchiwasim yisurim v'sofim shava. Tzadikim, they start out with difficulty and yisur, and in the end, their ending is tranquil. V'oreim, those who curse them and cause them pain, precede those who bless them, meaning that we're going to have the rough parts before the smooth parts. So Yitzchak hikdim klas orim v'irchas mavarch. And that's why Yitzchak is putting the cursings before the blessings. Varishayim is the opposite. They're tchilas and shalom, v'sof and yisurin. Hikdim bracha l'klala. That said, the Rishayim, they start off with a nice smooth life, and in the end, they have suffering. And that's why Bilam put the brachas ahead of the klalas. In other words, Bilam is somebody who lives an evil life, and his beginning is lots of fun, and then his end is very difficult. But so he's used to being blessed, so he first talks about those who are going to bless us. Yitzchak is a tzaddik. Yitzchak appreciates the beginning is going to be a bumpy ride, and he sees our future will be a bumpy ride. Therefore, he begins by talking about those who are going to curse us, and then he ends by talking about those who are going to bless us. And I think it should give us chizuk in these times when we see that we're going through very difficult times. The Gedolim have all said we're going through ikvasa de Mashiach, and they use the term the birth pangs of Mashiach. And I heard somebody say very nice, they said, what's birth pangs? The contractions are very painful, and each one brings a step closer. And that's what we're going through. We're going through these painful things, and they're bringing us closer and closer to the Geula Shlema. And we have to appreciate it that way, and that's what Chazal are telling us here. The beginning, it's going to be very, very difficult. The end is going to be great. And that it's something which Chazal foretold, and the Torah foretells, and we see coming in Meretz Hashem Bekarov. I'll end with just one or two ideas of just how we don't know what's going to be. We don't predict the future. But I have seen people bring, there's a Gemara in Yuma, Daf Yudam at Beis, and the Gemara says clearly that in the end of days there's going to be a battle between the Malchus of Edom and the Malchus of Persia. And there's going to be a battle. The Gemara brings a machlokas, the Pashup shot in between the two shitas. It would seem that we'll probably follow the shita that Edom is going to win that battle, but it's something that we see on the horizon. Potentially such a thing, and it's something which was predicted, and it's just another sign of where the world is going. And I saw a beautiful article of Chaim Aryeh Ginsburg wrote in Mishpacha recently, and he brought a lot of fundamental marmakomos about this idea of who Yishmael is. And as we saw in last week's parsha, that Avram Avinu davens Lu Yishmael Yechia Lefanecha, and the Ramban says that's a tefillah it's going to be till the end, that he's going to be here till the end of days. The Baal HaTurim says that the same way that Yitzchak that Yishmael steps aside at Avram Avinu's Levaya so Yitzchak can take the rightful place in the front. That's what's going to be in the end of days. And make the point that Yishmael is not going anywhere. Yishmael is here for a very specific purpose. Yishmael's purpose is to wake us up and to bring us to tshuva. The Pirkei de Eliezer in Perek Lamed Gimel, it's been going around, but it's a very important maramakom. He says the whole language of Yishmael is Yishma Kel. Hashem will hear us. And though Yishmael's name is alluding to, in the end of days, Yishmael's descendants are going to wake us up. They're going to cause us to cry out to Hashem, and Hashem will hear our tefillas. Now, Ginsburg said that Vayitzaku b'nei Yisrael min ha'avoda, that we said by Pesach, that was what finally brought the Gula, was when we cried out to Hashem from the difficulty. And he was saying that's Yishmael's purpose, Rabbi Ginsburg, that Yishmael's purpose is to really wake us, really shake us up, really wake us up, and really bring us to tshuva and to tefillah and to coming before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he's not going anywhere. That's his job, and that's why he's still here. And that's the schus that he has, to be here until the end. And so we just have to me, it gives me tremendous chizuk to see things pieces fitting into place, and see that everything is Hashem running the world with a very exact cheshbon. And we should look at it that way, and it should give us hope, and maybe we could do the right thing. Rav Shach wrote very sharply in his Sefer Machshavas HaMusar during the Yom Kippur War. He says people, they look, Mashiach this and that, and he says it's excuses because they don't want to do tshuva. When Hashem sends us suffering, it's to wake us up. He says, look at the Rambam, when we have tsaros, it's to wake us up, to do tshuva, to daven to Him, to change. And in Meretz Hashem, that's what we should all push ourselves to do. And when we do it properly, Hashem bring the Gula Shlema, B'mher v'yameinu, Amen.